Whoa! That was an intense slash scary slash I'm lost for words on this episode. Let's roll my intro right now.
It is time for another one of my Pretty Little Liars recap and review time. Taking this one if I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause you can't keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Hey guys, it's Ashley and this is my recap for Pretty Little Liars Season 3 Episode 13. This is a dark ride. This episode was crazy. I say that a lot for a lot of the episodes, but this one was... I got even scared. It was a dark ride. There was nothing that good that happened on the train. I mean, there were a few things here and there. It first starts off with Mona. She's singing this really eerie, creepy song. Something about teddy bears at a picnic. It was just really creepy. And she's painting on this red lipstick on this mannequin's head. And she was talking about how she wanted to do something for Halloween because it's her favorite holiday. And in the back of her, there was A in the black hood. They didn't show who it was. I'm not sure if that was Toby or the head A or someone else that we don't know of. She then gives that person in the black hoodie these bullets and pills, I think they were. It's the four girls. They're walking and talking. Then they see someone's house that has all these Halloween decorations, and one of them is a casket that says "Rest in peace, Alison De Laurentiis." So Emily gets really mad and she wants to tear it down, I guess. And when she goes there, someone opens the casket and scares her like rah, with a mask, and it's this guy that they know, and I guess he's one of these characters that you don't really know, but the characters know. Oh, Hannah and Caleb, they're sneaking around they're seen making out in a supply closet in a dentist's office. And Caleb, he says that he's not going to be at the crazy train. Meanwhile, Arya is in Ezra's apartment and she's looking at her costume, and Ezra comes in and he says that he has to attend a meeting in Philadelphia. That's why he can't make it to the party. At Spencer's house, Garrett comes over because he wanted to tell Spencer about what happened that night that Allie died. But he didn't get a chance to tell her because Toby came and told him to leave, so he left. And so then at the brew, that's where everyone has to meet for the crazy train, Halloween train, or whatever you want to call it. Hannah's dressed in Marilyn Monroe costume. Then she meets Arya there, and Arya is she was dressed up as Daisy from The Great Gatsby. Then they see Noel and Jenna at the party, and I just can't stand Noel or Jenna, and both of them together is like even more worse. And then Toby and Spencer, they arrive and they're dressed up as Bonnie and Clyde, and Spencer tells Toby to whistle if he needs her, and so she goes to the two other girls. They see Noel tossing like some kind of candy, catches it in his mouth, and then he starts choking, and Jenna's like, oh my gosh, do something. And so everyone rushed to his side. They're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And he starts choking, like literally choking. So Toby tries to help him. Noel just collapses on the ground, still kind of choking and coughing, and Jenna's like, oh my gosh, someone do something. So everyone's still all surrounded them. Little toy devil thing pops out of Noel's chest with confetti, and it was like all a joke. So Jenna and Noel started laughing, and everyone else is like oh, why do you do that? You know, like, oh, you know, that wasn't something to be funny about. Emily and Paige arrived. Emily's dressed as Barbella, and her costume was awesome. I liked Emily's costume and Arya's costume the best. To me, their costumes were like the most work put into. And Paige is dressed up as Marlene Dietrich. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know who that is, but I saw it on Twitter. Then Spencer sees Jason arriving and she wants to go to talk to him, but Toby wraps his arm around her to lead her to the entrance of the train. Then when they enter the train, it's empty and the four girls are like one of the first people to enter the train, and then Adam Lambert starts performing that song Cuckoo and everyone starts dancing, jamming out. I mean, it was a really good scene. I mean, I'm glad that they had Adam Lambert in this episode. Cape with a white mask shows up and kind of bumps Hannah, and Hannah's like, hey, next time, hey, don't do that. Like, she doesn't know who that is, so she's kind of creeped out. And then she realizes that was Caleb all along because that person kept following her. So Caleb surprised Hannah, and so then they start making out. Then Spencer is alone and she hears Mona singing that same teddy bear song, and so she's all alone. She turns around, bam, there's a mask right in front of her, and that literally scared me. I jumped back. I even like kind of screamed. The same mask from last season's Pretty Little Liars, that white mask with the, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll leave a picture somewhere in this screen, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's like that white mask, kind of look like a doll. Person grabs Spencer from behind. Garrett, he's like, sorry I had to do that to you. Garrett tells her that he knows information, what happened to Allie the night she died, and after that he's gonna leave town. So Spencer makes a deal with him that, okay, she won't be asking any more questions, she won't try to find him. So there's a flashback because Garrett tells her the story. The flashback is the night Allie died, there were NAT Club and Melissa storming in, like the video, into Allie's room. Garrett takes Jenna outside so Ian and Melissa can talk. So they go outside in Allison's backyard. Allison appears. Allie and Jenna start fighting. They can't stand each other. Garrett takes the hockey stick, swings it at Allie, but I think he misses. He swings it like a couple of times and Allie gets scared, so she kind of falls back and Jenna can't see, so she's asking Garrett, oh my gosh, is she dead? Did you kill her? And then Allie just goes, shh. Jenna's still freaking out. She doesn't know what's going on. She thinks that Garrett killed her. And Garrett's like, okay, it's done. I took care of it. Let's go. So they go. It's back to in reality, and Garrett tells Spencer that Jenna thinks that I killed Allie and I didn't. Garrett goes on telling that he went back there by himself. And this is another flashback. He sees Allie talking to Arya's dad, Byron. And Allie just tells him that you have to own up for what you've done, and he kind of is concerned, like as if a parent would be concerned. And then she tells him, you know what I'm capable of. Back in reality, Spencer asks him, why didn't you tell anyone when you were in jail? And he said he couldn't because there was too much evidence pinning against him, and he would have said something, but Spencer's mom covered up for him, so he couldn't say anything. And so Spencer tells him to stay there. She's gonna get Arya and he has to tell Arya what he saw. So he stays in the train, kind of on the outside part of the train, and she goes back to find Arya. Then there's someone in a Joker costume, a really creepy Joker costume, like shown in the back, and that person opens up their ring and they have really long nails. Like opens up a ring with like some kind of powder, like white powder in the ring. And so Adam leaves and Arya's just looking out the window. And then that person in the Joker costume walks by and puts that powder stuff in Arya's drink. And I guess Arya drinks it. She probably falls asleep. I'm guessing those were like sleeping drugs or something. Spencer's trying to find Arya, and so she asks Hannah if she saw her, and she said, yeah, I saw her sitting there. So they go there. Arya's gone. They only find her purse on the chair, and they look on the window and it says A. Her phone started ringing, so they check the text message, and it was from A. It says someone's not gonna make it till the end of the line. So then now they have to find Arya. They find Emily, and Emily tells Paige all what happened. So Paige is like the good side now. They know Paige isn't dangerous. That Joker costume person attacks Spencer, like tries to throw her out of the train. I really don't know who that was. You know, that's creepy. I really don't think it was Mona. I don't think it was Toby. I mean, why would Toby try to throw Spencer out of the train unless he's like schizophrenic or something? I don't know. And that person tries to choke Spencer, like tries to kill her, but then Paige comes in and kind of saves her, but that person attacks Paige too, and then that person just gives up and runs off. And then they find that person's nail, like a fake red long nail in Spencer's hair, and it's a big nail because it looks really big, like maybe for a guy even. There was a cute Paley moment. They were kissing in like one of the, like this empty room in a train, but then there was like a shadow lurking like behind the blinds. That was really creepy. Kind of ruined the moment. And then we see Arya trapped in a crate, a box, and she's screaming. Her mouth has duct tape and her hands are tied up, and she's screaming while trying to scream. She can't get out of this box, and then she's rocking this box and it falls because she's rocking it so much. And so Spencer, the other girls are trying to find Arya, and they go to tell Toby and Paige what's all going on, to be careful, and Hannah has to tell Caleb to be careful. Hannah sees a person in the same costume as Caleb and goes to tell that person that all what's happening, that all about how Arya's gone and A's on this train. She realizes it's not Caleb because she sees Caleb cross the room drinking water, and so she takes off that person's mask, and it's like this weird plasticky mask, and that person won't let go. Let me go! And finally that person runs off, and that was Mona, because later in the episode they show Mona back at Radley Sanitarium with that plasticky mask at the bottom of her bed. So that was her. So back with Arya, she's still screaming. She got the tape off her mouth. She turns to her side and she sees Garrett dead with his eyes open, but it was creepy, and then she screams on the top of her lungs. I mean, that's some scary stuff. First being locked up in a crate, but now being locked up in a crate with a dead guy. That's even more creepy. She hears two people talking, lifting the crate, so she's trying to get the tape off of her hands with this nail sticking out, and so she finally breaks it and those guys leave, and then she can feel the crate kinda leaning towards, and the crate is about to fall off the train. Just in time, the three girls, they come running and they're like, Arya, Arya! So they pull the box back in and they find a hammer to pry it open. Then Arya comes out, and then they see Garrett dead in there, and they're like, oh my gosh, what happened, and all that. And then the cops come and try to investigate everyone. And Noel and Jenna tells Hannah, why don't you just tell the cops that you did it so you can just go home already. Then Toby comes in like, hey, leave them alone, and he pushes Noel against this cooler with all the drinks, and then the cooler falls tilt down with all the ice and the drinks, and then something else is in this cooler. It's a body bag. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was Allison's body bag. That was really creepy. That was some creepy stuff that happened in this episode. But before that all happened, Ezra comes running in. He said that he was gonna surprise Arya at the end of the train, but he heard someone was hurt, so he just comforted Arya. It was a nice scene. Meanwhile, with all the train stuff going around, Hannah's mom and Pastor Ted. They're handing out candy at Hannah's house to these little kids, and Ashley goes inside and she sees this little girl in her kitchen. She's like, oh, the candy's out in front, and the little girl's like, she's lost and she can't find her mom. She's alone by herself, and so Ashley suggests, oh, what, use your phone to call your mom and you can stay here while you wait. She's like, okay, so she gives her the phone. So she goes into Hannah's room and she sees the girl in Hannah's room, and that girl tells Ashley that she called her mom, but her mom was screaming and mad at her, and that her sister tells her mom stuff about her all the time, and she always gets in trouble, and they can't even get along even while they're playing with their dolls. And now this girl, this little girl, is the same exact girl that was in last Halloween episode, in the story where Allison was telling that story to that little boy and Hannah about the twins can't get along, they're fighting over the dolls, and one of the twins killed the other twin. I'm guessing, and I saw a lot of people are guessing, that that was the ghost of the girl that got killed, because that was the same girl. So then Hannah's mom tries to comfort her, and then she backs away because she's so cold, gives a blanket to the girl, and she's like, why don't you wait here? And she's like, okay. And she goes to get Pastor Ted, and when they go back into Hannah's room, the blanket's folded and the girl is gone. Then she asks Ted if he believes in ghosts, and he's like, I'm not supposed to. In the end, the scene flashes back to the night Allie died, because it has the same like fence, and it's still thundering and lightning, same as the flashback. And then it shows a hand coming out of the dirt. So people are saying that was Allison, because since she was buried alive, that was Allison, like a hand just going like this, like trying to reach out for something. I really don't know what to say about this episode. It was really creepy. I mean, it kind of solves some things, but at the same time, it's leaving me with more questions, like why is Byron involved with this now, and how is he involved with this, and why is like all the NAT club members getting killed? Like, is Jason gonna be next? Who was in the Joker costume? Was it the head A? Because Mona was tending to be Caleb, so that was her. Toby, that obviously wasn't him. I don't think it was him. Actually, he was there with the Joker costume, so that wasn't him. Probably like the head A in that Joker costume, and you're saying it's a guy? I'm not really sure who though. Can't be Garrett since he's dead, and these questions are all in my head now. Great, how am I gonna sleep? I hope you enjoyed this recap and review. Bye guys! Peace out!